Hey y'all, this is the People's Finder podcast by Mera Berimo. Illuminate that which is hidden within you.
Hey, my loves, welcome back to the People's Finder podcast, season 2, episode 5. We are halfway of the podcast, and I'm so happy to be halfway, guys, like literally. And not because I don't like making an episode for you and I'm just waiting for it to be over. No, not because of that. The reason why I'm happy is because, guys, sometimes it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, especially this week. I've been so busy, and honestly, just the moods are not mooding. I'm recording this episode on Saturday, so it's very last minute episode. Today's Saturday. It's actually Women's Day. I hope you had an amazing Women's Day. Happy Wednesday to all the ladies who are listening, all the women out there listening. You deserve a celebration of your own, honestly. For me, this is how I celebrated my Women's Day. Okay, it wasn't something big, but honestly, I felt like it was nice. It was nasty. So today I went to class. I usually have a Saturday morning class. I know that's just the worst feeling. Imagine just waking up on a Saturday morning because my class is at 8. It's like a class from 8 to 11. It's a practical class, which I like. I'm a very practical person, so that's why I really had fun during the class. When you do a semester, then you know everything, and then like you're the first one to finish. Yeah, this semester I feel like that because it's a more practical, and I'm a graphic design kind of girl, so it's around that topic. So I finished my class in the morning. Also, that's my last class ever. It's my last class until I graduate. I'm so happy for that. That's why I'm not even sad to wake up on Saturday morning because I'm like, you know what? It's worth it. At the end of it, I'll graduate. So there is no loss here. After my class, I wanted to go for a walk. I went to Arboretum for a walk. And I didn't expect Arboretum to be like a short walk. Like it's so short. I've been going to Karura and that's all I know because Karura walks are so long from gate A to gate B to gate C. It's a long walk and you feel like for real you've done like a very like big exercise. Also, kuna waterfalls. So I expected Arboretum to be like something close to that. But I was kind of disappointed because I didn't feel like I did the right exercise that I wanted to because the distance was so short, honestly. But I really enjoyed being out in nature. I sat by myself. I was just out in nature, which was really good. So I've been so win. Yeah, and then I came home and then I was like, you know what, I have to do an episode because tomorrow is the day and we can't go without an episode. So I'm here with another episode. Today's episode, I want to talk about managing feelings. And before even I start, I want to read for you something that I saw in this book that I'm reading. It says that if you want to master your life, you have to learn to organize your feelings. By becoming aware of them, you can trace them back to the thought process that prompted them. And from there, you can decide whether or not the idea is an actual threat or concern or a fabrication of your reptilian mind just trying to keep you alive. If you want to master your life, you have to master your feelings. Hey, hapa ndo kuna tulemea. Like literally, I don't like mastering my feelings. If I'm in that feeling, I just want to react that time. But the books tell us otherwise. So I did a big research on this topic, and these are the things that I found out, and I thought it would be that very, very helpful to you if you're listening this at home, or you want to learn something new. This will be so helpful. First thing that I knew that I wanted to find about, I just wanted to find about facts about feelings. What are the facts? What are the things that we should know about feelings? And these are the things that I found out. Number one, your feelings are not always real. They are not always accurate reflection of your reality. They are reflection of your thoughts. Our thoughts change our feelings. So it's so sad to know that your feelings are not always real, not all the time they're real, because they seem real. When you're in that cloud of that emotion, your feelings, like you feel as if that's the only thing that can make you make the decision. That's the only thing that can make you, feel better or anything. But you have to realize that they're not always real. They come and they go. They'll be there 1 minute, the next minute they won't be there. So when I learned that, I was so sad. I was like, you know what? I was so attached to my feelings. Also, I like this topic because it makes us just not to be attached to our feelings so much and to even make decisions when our mind is fresh and make critical decisions. Number two that I found out about our feelings is that feelings do not inform you of the right decisions to make. Right decisions create the right feelings. So never make a big decision because of your feeling. Take a breather and think intellectually, because number one, we have our mind, and our mind is the most important thing that we have, honestly. If you can think straight, then everything can be right. So think fast and then try to make decision after you've thought, instead of you making a decision because you're feeling it's like, today I feel sad, so let me go drink. Or today I want to text that guy who I said I want to text because I feel lonely. Like our feelings we can make us make like very wrong decisions. Yeah, so feelings do not inform you the right decision to make. So stop relying on your feelings to make choices. Always think critically before that. Number 3, feelings are not always accurate. Follow your brain. It just goes hand in hand with the second one. They're not always accurate. And also, by putting feelings behind doesn't mean that you don't appreciate your feeling. Yes, we acknowledge our feelings, but also don't let your feelings control you. Don't let your feelings control your decisions. You are the controller of your decision. And who is you? You is the brain, okay? You are the brain. So yeah, let your brain control your feelings instead of your feelings controlling you, no matter how hard it is. So try so much to just sit back and try to unwind before making that decision. Number 4, do not overthink your feelings or put meaning to it. We always want to complicate issues, especially ladies. Like our feelings are number one, guys. We love our feelings so much, but it's sad because we shouldn't put it first. Because if we do, we will make so much like wrong decisions. So do not overthink it or put extra meaning to it. For example, today you don't feel like waking up to go to work. Honestly, if you were to follow our feelings, 90% of us wouldn't wake up because who likes waking up in the morning? Like I said earlier today, I went to class morning. I had like morning class from 7. And of course, I didn't want to wake up, but I had to. Like my mom was like, Mera, umechelewa. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't put the alarm. That I had to wake up and I had to rush. But if I could overthink it, then could be like, I don't feel like waking up because maybe I shouldn't wake up, or because maybe my feelings are telling me that something bad will happen to me on the way home. Guys, please stop overthinking it. We've come to this other chapter of managing our feelings. The other chapter is learning to organize your feelings. We know the facts about feelings and we know the 4 facts. And we know that we shouldn't trust our feelings all the time. But knowing that, how can we manage our feelings? Because I'm not going to lie, as much as you know that, sometimes your feelings can come up and you're like, I don't know how to manage it. I don't know how to react at this moment, at this time. Number 1, become aware and track them. You know yourself better than anyone. You know what triggers you. For example, maybe you have a sibling like me. You buy something, maybe a good food, you put it on the fridge, and then someone comes and eats it. The first thing of you to do, you'll get so mad. Guys, we like our food. I like my food. Like I'll get mad when you take my food. I want you to just sit back first and just like know that, you know what, this thing is making me mad. It's making me so mad. Let me breathe before even talking to that person who did it. When you breathe, collect your feelings, go to them, and now talk. Because when we react that time, you'll end up abusing them or even doing something worse that you'll end up recreating doing to that person. And it's just because of food. But if you think, you'll just be like, you know what, it's just food. Why am I so mad? It's just food. I can buy another one, you know? So be aware of your feelings and track them. Speaking of food, there was this news that came that these people from Western, they were siblings, I believe so. One of them killed the sibling because of ugali. And honestly, I feel bad that happened even, because if this person would just like sit back and be like, you know what, this is just feelings and ugali is just food, it's not a big deal, maybe that couldn't have happened. But I'm sure he reacted it like he reacted with the emotions, he reacted with the feelings, and that's what is wrong with when it comes to that. So just take a step back, track them, and know that you shouldn't overreact to them. Number 2, find a role model. And the reason why finding a role model is very important is because in our day-to-day life we get into a lot of situations. Honestly, a week ikienda kama hujapitia kitu kamoja and inafanya your feelings to feel a certain type of way, then you have a lucky week, honestly. But as long as you're a human being and as long as you interact with people, there is always things that trigger you. But in those moments, you can ask yourself, what will my role models do? We have so many role models in the community today. Like Mother Teresa is one of the real models, especially in the Catholic Church. We have Kina Wangari Maathai, the big role models. We have Jesus, one of the biggest role models on earth today. Ask yourself, what will ABCD do? Will they react like this? Even your mom is a role model. Will my mom react like this in this situation? What will they do? Because when we have a role model, it really helps us to sit back and track our emotions. Even books, even you reading a book, will the author react like this? Ask yourself those kind of questions. It will make you to manage your feelings and organize them better. Have a thought diary. Have a diary. I'm always a big advocate when it comes to journaling. So have a diary. Write down on your diary your feelings. Something I noticed this year I've been so good when it comes to journaling. Okay, clap for your girl. And this is what I realized. One thing about writing them down, you realize that your emotions and your feelings are not even that big. When your feelings are in your brain, it is this big of a thing. Like it's so big. And you think that you can't get over it, or even if you can't get maybe over someone, or you think you have to react a certain type of way. But when you write down, you realize it's not even that big. So that's why journaling is very big, and I love journaling personally. So I hope you will journal, start journaling, especially when you have something that is in your brain and it's making you feel a type of way. Write it down, write your feelings, be open to yourself. And when you put it on paper and then read it aloud, it becomes easier. Honestly, I hope you'll try that. Try that when you're having a bad day and you come and tell me. It really does help. So yeah, put your feelings down. It will help you to understand it better. Number 4 way of organizing your feelings is learn to be open-minded. So you can't organize your feelings when you're a very close-minded person. Especially, I'm gonna give an example when it comes to people. When you grow up, you've been told like stay away from certain people, or stay away from a certain community, or stay away from certain things. But sometimes when you give them just a time so that they can prove themselves, you realize those are just feelings. And maybe that person is not even that bad. There is this group of people that always work. There is a group of Christians that always work to give out their books and to preach their gospel. And when we were younger, I remember our parents, I know even you, your parents used to say, don't open for them the door, walikataa kutupigia kelele, you shouldn't trust them. But there's this day that they came recently and we opened the door for them. I was like, okay, let me listen to them. And I found out even they're not as weird. Honestly, I thought they were just these weird people. And I just was open minded and they were speaking good things, even though I don't agree with everything that they said. I just became open minded to them, and now my feelings towards them has changed. And I think they're amazing people. So be very open minded when it comes to other people. We may have strong opinions and feeling about other people or other things, but give people a chance to prove themselves. If they prove themselves good, then that's good. If they prove it bad, then now you know. But always be open minded, because at the end of the day, you're gonna miss so much opportunity when you become this closed minded person. Be open to businesses, be open to opportunity. You never know what will be your thing, honestly. Try out new talent, new hobbies. For me personally, if I hear when it comes to running or like just heavy games, I always run away from it. But when I try to play them, at the end of it, I'm like, oh, I had fun. I had fun playing. I don't know where that feeling came that I hated it, but at the end of doing that thing, I enjoyed it. Learn to be open-minded. The last thing about organizing our feelings is when you're covered with a dark cloud of emotion, pause and be patient before overreacting. Don't react or don't respond immediately. Give yourself time to choose. We always have two choices. We can choose to be rude, arrogant, and then we regret later, or we can choose to be patient and quiet, and then we don't regret later of saying or doing anything that we shouldn't. Especially now when we are in corporate world, working as young people, it's very hard for us to control our emotions, because of course we meet new people, we meet colleagues who maybe sample trigger our emotions, and instead of us being patient, you want to jump up and say ABCD, but you have to control it and just be quiet and let them say the things that they want to say, or do the things that they want to do, but you don't end up regretting later. Just keep quiet and move forward, and don't react to it. So yeah, before I finish the episode, I just want to leave you with a reminder. This is a reminder. Remember that your brain was built for nature. Your body was designed to survive in the wild. You have an animalistic form trying to navigate a highly civilized modern world. Forgive yourself for having these impulses, and at the same time understand that your choices are ultimately yours. You can feel something and not act to it. You don't have to act to everything that comes your way. Don't regret something that you would have avoided. So yeah, I hope you guys have had an amazing episode. I hope you've learned how to manage your feelings. I've given you facts about feelings. You should trust your feelings all through. I've also taught you how to organize your emotions. Number one, be aware of them and track them. Number 2, find a role model. Number 3, have a thought diary, write them down. Number 4, learn and be open-minded. Learn to be open-minded person. Number 5, pause and be patient. And I hope that will help you. Don't forget to pray always.
See you guys in the next episode. Bye.